We're a little bit mana heavy with the Aether Vial, but this is a fine keep. And we'll start with the turn 1 Seachrome Coast Aether Vial. Stomping Ground. And Treecorn. So we're playing against Dredge. We might want to put the Mausoleum Wanderer out immediately so we can counter a Cathartic Reunion in that case. So I think we're just going to leave the Aether Vial behind. Okay, so using the Bloodghast version. I think we can probably outrace a Bloodghast. Okay, and they're going to use Life from the Loam to fill their hand. That's fine. I think that's fine, right? Glasspool Mimic. We can copy Supreme Phantom so that we can get some damage in. I think we'll just play plain Supreme Phantom, attack for 3. Supreme Phantom also blocks the Bloodghast quite well. But if opponent hits some of their Creeping Chills, that's going to undo a lot of our work. Okay, they're going to use Life from the Loam again and continue to fill their hand up with cards. This is going to allow them to discard to hand size. I think we still let them do it so we can get a bunch of damage in. We'll discard 2 cards, Golgari Thug and Stinkweed Imp. So we get Skyclave Apparition, but it doesn't really have anything to hit. There's just the Bloodghasts on the other side. So I like playing the Glasspool Mimic here to copy the Supreme Phantom so we can get in for extra damage. They do have 1 red mana up. They could have something like Lightning Axe. Attack for 6. Okay, it's just a Forgotten Cave cycle. Yeah, so they have the Ox, which is a pretty big deal. They have Conflagrate, which is pretty awful actually for us. But fortunately our power and toughness is quite large and we have a counterspell. So we might be able to weather this storm. Alright, so they have 7 cards in hand, which means they could try to kill 2 of our spirits. We would then counter the spell with Mausoleum Wanderer if they cast Conflagrate. And we would be able to keep our 2 Supreme Phantoms in that case. They are going to have to find some kind of answer to our board. We do have a lethal attack set up for next turn. Okay, 2 mana. This could be the Conflagrate. No, this is the Ox. Discard your hand, then draw 3 cards. So they're going to be looking to dredge a whole bunch There's nothing we can actually do around that. That's just going to happen. Okay, so they got at least one Creeping Chill. Okay, it looks like only one. The Necromoebas are also annoying in the sense that they can block our dudes. And now they're getting the prized amalgams back as well. Fortunately, we're still at a very healthy life total. So we might be able to get through this. I think that it probably would be a good idea for them to just go ahead and conflag the Mausoleum Wanderer as well. No, this is another Ox. Okay, this is pretty good. Secondary Ox means they could hit some more Creeping Chill. They do. They hit another Creeping Chill, 2 more Creeping Chills. So that's going to get their life total out of range. Well, it was a pretty good game, but these Ox really managed to steal the show. Yeah, we're going to need to go ahead and skip this. Okay, we get another Selfless Spirit. So we could play 2 Selfless Spirit. We could then attack. This would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We could instead Skyclave one of the Ox. Think that we're probably pretty dead here. I'm leaning towards just the concession option. Opponent has such a wide board here, and the 3 flyers are really kind of mucking up our plan. I'm going to go to the next game here where we have access to Rest in Peace. A Remorseful Cleric. And what are we going to want to take out? Three cards. Apparition isn't that hot. You could take out one of those. The Selfless Spirit is actually kind of fine. Path to Exile is not that great. I wouldn't mind trimming on that. Don't mind keeping a couple of them, though, to be able to get rid of like a Stinkweed Imp that's trying to block. Is Queller good? Not that good. We could definitely cut a Queller here. There are some spells that we would love to be able to quell, like a Cathartic Reunion, but we're not going to see that opportunity too often. I'm wondering at this point if we should cut a secondary Queller and bring one of these cards back in. Apparition might be better than Queller. Alright, I think we're satisfied with this. Yeah, I think you're right too. I think that Queller could definitely get some use, especially on the play. Alright, this seems fine. Let's keep. Again, we're a little bit heavy on the mana side. I'm wondering if I should put down Mausoleum Wanderer turn 1 in order to counter a Shriekhorn. No, because Wanderer is only instants or sorceries. It's not a negate. Okay, so definitely Aether Vial. In that case, do I want to go get, I think, basic Island for the Aether Vial to start? Okay, so tap land. Great, no Shriekhorn. That's good news. Rest in peace off the top, please. We're just going to practice patience here on our upkeep. We got our Aether Vial on the stack. We just have to wait for our opponent to let us put a counter onto it. For all the advantages that playing on Modo has, this is definitely one of the downsides where your opponent can just forget they have a stop on whatever phase, walk away from the computer, and you're just stuck waiting for a minute or two as they run out their chess clock. On the plus side, though, you don't get Corona when you're playing Modo. Spectral Sailor, interesting. So we could actually play 3 1-drops here, and the Mausoleum Wanderers would be very strong. They would be very strong in the next couple turns, getting buffs from the spirits that I play in order to do more damage. I don't mind that. I think we'll just play Hallowed Fountain untapped. Play one of the Mausoleum Wanderers, and then pass. Spectral Sailor has flash, Mausoleum Wanderer can come in with the Aether Vial. We might have wanted to use the Flooded Strand here to hide information. The untapped Hallowed Fountain is letting the opponent know that we want to do something with that mana. Whereas if we had played Flooded Strand, our opponent wouldn't know that we want to spend that mana or just crack the fetch land and get a tap land. Okay, so they're playing Pithing Needle here. We're not going to be able to stop that. However, we can use the Aether Vial right now. So we'll just go ahead and bring in another Mausoleum Wanderer. And I think they're going to use the Pithing Needle on the Aether Vial, but they could use it on Mausoleum Wanderer. Watch the name Spectral Sailor. Okay, they choose Mausoleum Wanderer, so I cannot counter their incoming spells. We still have access to the Aether Vial. Let's cast the Spectral Sailor. And we get Rest in Peace off the top. Nice. Alright, let's rest in peace. So there's the question of, do we want to use the Rattlechains in order to do 2 extra damage, or do we want to keep it as a trick? I'm leaning actually towards keeping it as a trick here, rather than doing 2 extra damage. If I can get a card for it, that's a pretty big advantage. Chew up like a lightning axe or something. They could also have Conflagrate. I think that would be a pretty good reason. Okay, so Stinkweed Imp means they're going to be able to block my creatures. Alright, I think we'll leave the Rattlechains in hand right now. We'll have enough mana to do two things, whatever we draw. Of course, if we get land here, it's a little bit awkward because we're going to want to use the Spectral Sailor to draw a card. Alternatively, we could just use the Rattlechains to attack with the two Mausoleum Wanderers. We could attack with the Wanderers, and then if they block, put the Rattlechains in play, and if they don't draw a card... I don't know, I kind of like just drawing a card. Maybe we'll get a 3-drop. We get Cavern of Souls instead. Okay, we're going to pass. Stinkweed Imp being a little bit of a pain here as a roadblock, but we have a couple of good draws in the deck. Path to Exile, we've got a pair of those in the deck. We have 4 Skyclave Apparitions to get out of the way. And if we get basically any spirit, the Mausoleum Wanderers can attack into it. Okay, opponent is paying 2 mana for a Cathartic Reunion, discarding 2 lands to hopefully draw towards an answer to Rest in Peace, would be my guess. Okay, that's their turn. And for the Aether Vial, we can say always, no, and yield to save on time. We get another Rest in Peace. Not too interested in that, to be honest. We could draw a card with Spectral Sailor, or we could draw a card with Horizon Canopy. Drawing a card with Canopy this turn would be a little bit cheaper. We'd still have access to 3 mana. We could Rattlechains that on that turn that way. Okay, we get Glasspool Mimic. Mimic's not that hot right now, but it could be very, very good in a turn or two. I think we want to attack and play the Rattlechains this turn, just so we can get some damage going. Okay. I don't think we have anything else to do on this turn, so we'll just pass. Okay, they're just going to play a Golgari Thug. Thug doesn't block any of our creatures. And we get another island. I don't mind playing the Rest in Peace so that we have an extra answer to their deck. It does cut us off from drawing an extra card this turn, but I think that opponent needs to answer Rest in Peace in order to continue on with the game. If they're using Force of Vigor, playing Rest in Peace is wrong. But I don't think they do play that card. I think they normally play, what's that one? Something else, anyway. I'm going to play the Rest in Peace. Okay, Creeping Chill, no problem. Might as well attack for one, it's not going to be blocking. We get another Rattlechains. So the Glasspool Mimic's not doing too much here, but that's fine. We could draw a card with Spectral Sailor, see if we draw a 3-drop. We get another Glasspool Mimic. Okay. So we might just start throwing out Mimics to copy our Rattlechains, just to do more damage. So let's see here, that would be 5 damage, putting them to 9, with an extra 2 coming up. I think this is fine. We can put this in as a trick down the road. If they try and conflagrate a bunch of our dudes, we can save one. Okay, they're just going to play an Ox. I mean, that is a decent attacker. We are at only 11 life now. And going down to 10. So they do have a 2-turn clock here. Okay, they're losing a life here on the Bloodstained Mire to get a basic mountain. And they're playing another Pithing Needle, so that's going to turn off our Aether Vial. Let's go ahead and get this Glasspool Mimic into play. We'll copy a Rattlechains. It has the most power. I think it might be. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we're 1 off. And just a Flooded Strand off the top. No, they named Spectral Sailor. They didn't even name the Aether Vial. Ah, I should have made it Wanderer. Because, yeah, I would have had more power toughness there. Should have seen that. As is, I think we're still doing fine. We just attack all, and then we can throw these things into play at end of turn, instant speed. Because that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Okay, here's another Creeping Chill. And an attack, so that's for 4, 5. We can go ahead and throw a Rattlechains in front of the Ox so that we don't get blown out by something. Okay, they're going to go ahead and concede. The second one is Spectral Sailor, so that I would stop drawing cards. Okay, so we have a 1-land hand with Aether Vial and Rest in Peace. We're going to keep this. It is quite risky. If we don't draw lands, we could end up dying. But we have the Aether Vial to play our creatures, and we have Rest in Peace to win the game. So I think it's worthwhile to take this risk. Opponent mulliganing to 5 cards so far. Okay, they're keeping at 5. And they have the Shriekhorn. Okay, no land. Land off the top deck, please. Oh, they got 2 Necromoebas here, and they're going to be able to get the Prized Amalgam into play right away. We do have Path to Exile. We can get rid of the Prized Amalgam, so they're not going to be doing us ridiculous amounts of damage right away. But that was pretty strong early turns from the opponent here. And a Cathartic Reunion. Fortunately, the Cathartic Reunion didn't get too much. Land, please, deck. Damn. Alright, so we're going to go to the opponent's draw step, and then we'll Path to Exile the Prized Amalgam. That is going to give them back their Bloodghasts, unfortunately. Oh, they failed to find a basic, so they don't get their Bloodghasts. That's quite the coup for us. Alright, land, deck, please. Okay, so they get back Blast Zone with the Light from the Loam, so that is an answer to the Rest in Peace. And they get another Creeping Chill. So we are in quite a bit of trouble here. And we miss on land again, so that was pretty unfortunate. We can Path to Exile one of our own creatures, which is probably what we're going to end up doing next turn. During the opponent's turn, I mean. So we're going to want to use another Creeping Chill too. Jeez. Just thinking about which creature we want to use, the Rattlechains or the Selfless Spirit. Probably the Rattlechains. Okay, and then we can go to block, and then we'll path our creature to get that land. It has Hexproof, not Shroud. Let's go get, I think, Plains, because we have the Skyclave Apparition. We're only at 5 life here, so yeah. Oh, and there's Conflag for 5 to finish us off before we could even get the Rest in Peace out. Alright, GG opponent. This hand looks fine. A little bit on the slow side, especially on the draw, but we have Path to Exile to answer one of their early plays, and Spell Queller to take away their 4-drop. Maybe we'll get lucky and find a 2-drop along the way. Alright, so opponent is playing probably like yeah, Force of Negation main would be pretty good. Okay, just a Seachrome Coast there. I don't mind playing the Seachrome Coast here. Hold up Path to Exile. So this could be a Jeskai control list. It could be an Omnath pile. Quite a few things that the Jeskai Triome can mean. Basic Plains, and Cleansing Wildfire. Okay. So we actually have 2 of our basics in our hand already. Cleansing Wildfire could end up being a sinkhole quite soon. Sinkhole that draws the opponent cards. Ugh. Alright, so we drew the Aether Vial right on time. We're going to go ahead and deploy it. It'll take a little while to get value out of it, but next turn we can hold up Spell Queller and potentially counter a Planeswalker. Okay, another Cleansing Wildfire, so we'll go get our final basic. Kind of hoping they pass without a land drop here. That would be ideal. So they're playing Lotus Field. Oh, I think I heard something about this. About how decks were playing Lotus Field now. To get extra value from Teferi. And Spell Queller can't counter 5 mana Teferi. Okay. Blood Sun in the main. Been a while since I looked at this one. Draw a card. All lands lose all abilities except mana abilities. Yeah, that seems really good. Quite the combo there. This is Aspiring Spike's fault. Damn him. What's he doing going and innovating like this? Spectral Sailor? Okay. So let's see here. We're going to play, I think, the Hallowed Fountain untapped, hold up Spell Queller, and then we can put the Spectral Sailor into play with the Aether Vial. I don't want to tilt our hand that we have the final basic, and I don't think our life total is going to matter very much in the long term. So we'll just pass here. Alright, Steam Vent's untapped, so they want to do a thing. But they're going to wait till our turn to do it. Alright, let's put the Spectral Sailor in play. And that'll allow us to draw cards if the opponent refuses to play spells. Oh, no, they want to do something now. They want to Lightning Bolt the Spectral Sailor. I think that's fine. I'd love to put Drogskol Captain in to counter that, but I don't want to Spell Quell this Lightning Bolt. I think we could hit something far more valuable than this. And once we get the Aether Vial up to 3, then we're going to be much more comfortable being able to get all these 3 drops out of our hand. But I think we're giving the opponent too much time. We don't have any pressure, So opponent's going to be able to just sit back on their laurels, get up to 5 mana, play big Teferi, and win the game. If we can get these double Drogskol Captains out, though, we might be doing okay. Alright, looks like they got something big here. No, this is 5 mana Teferi. Alright, so Spell Queller don't do anything. But we could put the Queller down and then put the 2 Captains into play. So that we have a bunch of things to do damage with. Oh, jeez, they have 4. That's so much mana. Okay, so they're going to do something here. They got 4 blue mana. If they do something, we might be able to get these Drogskol Captains out. That could be difficult for them to deal with. They probably have some form of mass removal, though. They're just going to counter draw? Okay. And we get Cavern of Souls. Okay. So they can no longer counter our spirits. We're just going to do this right away. We're not playing around. We could try to catch one of their spells on the Drogskol Captain with an Aether Vial activation, but this is far safer. This way we don't get blown out by a double spell. Valakut's Awakening, so this is the redraw spell. This deck seems really cool. So they just went ahead and recharged their entire hand. That is a really wild looking Serum Visions. I like the look of that. Okay, Hallowed Fountain tapped, pass. I think that we're in the draw a card game here. Blind Man, thanks for the follow. Just an Aether Vial. Alright, so we can set up our yields here. Always no, always yield. Save a little bit of time on that. We get another Aether Vial. Alright, so we're in for killing Teferi here if the opponent lets us. So let's try that. Not sure what the opponent could have for 5 mana here. They could absolutely have Cryptic Command, tap our team. That's like the easiest thing they could have. There it is. Tap creatures and draw a card. Okay. So we'll just play the Aether Vials and then pass back. I think we definitely play one, but I'm just wondering if I should just keep the second one in hand as a bluff here. I think I should. No reason to have 2 Aether Vials at 1. I can play the secondary Vial next turn anyway and still get the same amount of value from it. So the Teferi ultimate does target, so the double Drogskol Captains here need to be answered by a sweeper. Fortunately, Teferi is out of range of the Drogskol Captains, but I definitely want to hit it if I can. Let's see here. So this one is a yes. The other one is automatically no. Ooh, another Drogskol Captain. That's nice. That means we might be able to kill the Teferi here. Let's go to combat and see if they let us attack. And we can use the Drogskol Captain as a trick to kill the Teferi. They might think Teferi's going to 1 here, no big deal. No! Drogskol Captain, here we go. Kill that Teferi now. Nice. I don't think I really need to play the Aether Vial. We can just keep that in hand. Pretend it's a relevant spell. Let's see here. So we're attacking for 12 here. There's a 2-turn clock. There's the Blood Sun. So Flagstones of Chakar should lose that ability, I think, but they get the free Lotus Field. Their lands aren't hexproof anymore, but that doesn't really matter. We're not running any land destruction. What do they got here for 5? Another Teferi. So we can go ahead and kill that. Unless they have another Cryptic Command, because they are going to be untapping their Lotus Fields here, which is going to give them oodles of mana. Just the most mana. Okay, this one is a yes, the other one's automatically no. And we get a Spell Queller off the top. That's cool. Okay, Spell Queller hits Cryptic Command. Let's send, I think, 2 at Teferi, 1 at max. So we can kill the Teferi and potentially kill them next turn. We don't have lethal damage here, so we might as well kill the Teferi while we can. If we can. Okay. So with Spell Queller we have lethal. But we are still dead to Sweeper. I mean, Spell Queller could counter the Sweeper, but they have so much mana. Nope, we win. Whew. Okay. Those Drogskol Captains, wow. Good thing we have Glasspool Mimic in our deck. So what are we going to do against our opponent here? I think Damping Sphere seems pretty good. I don't think Path was very good here. We could bring in Firewalker, but I don't think that's very good. What about Mindcensor? I think that would be okay. They do seem to be searching their library for some of their lands. Force of Negation is probably one of our best cards. So we definitely want to bring that in. I really like Selfless Spirit here. Rattlechains seems quite strong. Skyclave Apparition doesn't seem that great, actually. There didn't seem to be very many targets to hit with the Apparition. We could also bring in Kira. Probably take out a Mimic for the Kira. And I think we're satisfied with this. Okay, good hand. We are missing blue mana, but otherwise the hand is quite strong. We have Force of Negation. I like that. And we have the Damping Sphere. And we get blue mana off the top. Wonderful. Let's play Spectral Sailor and pass a turn. Serum Visions from the opponent. Again, very nice looking card. So they got 2 cards on top. Okay, Seachrome Coast. Let's start with an attack, and then we'll play Damping Sphere. Make sure we don't skip through the rest of our turn here by mistake. Oh, turn off auto yields there. Almost made a huge mistake. We have Force of Negation up here. We shouldn't just be auto passing. Might have been interesting to hold the Damping Sphere until they put Lotus into play. Okay, so here's the Blood Sun. Do we need to counter the Blood Sun while we have Damping Sphere in play? I don't think so. I think we can let this resolve and hold Force of Negation for like Teferi or something. It does mean that our Horizon Canopy isn't going to draw a card. Glasspool Mimic, okay. Good card to discard with Force of Negation. Can also copy something when we get something better. Because it's difficult to copy a Spell Queller with Mimic. Let's just attack here and pass. Okay, there's that Lotus field. It's going to tap a single colorless, though, instead of 3 mana of any color. And Madcap Experiment, that's getting spell quelled. Hallowed Fountain, okay. I think we can just play Hallowed Fountain tapped. Actually, we should probably play a card untapped so that we can get the card from Spectral Sailor. Oh, it just comes into play untapped automatically because of the Blood Sun. Cool. So we're even going to be able to draw a card EOT with Force of Negation up. So even though we're going to tap out our mana, we'll still be able to play a spell, which is pretty nice. Nice for us, anyway. Alright, opponent's got a ton of lands in play. What are they going to do with them? They got something coming up here. Is this Teferi? Yeah, so we're going to want to Force of Negation that. I think I'm just going to end up paying mana and hold the Glasspool Mimic in hand. The other option is drawing a card here and then throwing away the Glasspool Mimic. They're about equal, honestly, because Glasspool's not doing very much in our hand right now. We might just draw a better card with Spectral Sailor. Okay. Oh, Drogskol Captain's a good card. I kind of want to keep the Glasspool Mimic now so that we can mimic the Drogskol Captain. But I think we need to keep the Spell Queller. No, because we're going to want to play Drogskol Captain next turn, so we're not going to be able to hold Spell Queller up. Another Drogskol Captain. Okay. Opponent needs to do something good right now. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so that's lethal with the Drogskol Captain here. No, they have Madcap Experiment, so they're going to be able to get the Platinum Empyrean. We need Path to Exile, which we've taken out of our deck. So I don't think we actually have any way to get through the Platinum Empyrean. They're not really going to be able to attack with it, though. Guess I got a little bit overeager with the Drogskol Captain there because it was so good last time. And now we just don't have an answer to this. We do have fewer cards in our or more cards in our library than our opponent does. So we can Drogskol Captain so they can't hit our creatures and then just pass. Maybe we can't use the Cavern of Souls uncounterable thing because of the Blood Sun? We're also going to want to play much faster at this point. We are under clock for our opponent here. But they're going to have a hard time attacking into our creatures. Shark Typhoon. Oh, that's a problem. Okay. So that's going to give them an attack force, and they're going to win this game. I think we can probably just concede here. Yeah, all 4 paths. Alright, so we'll bring Paths back in for Game 3. Okay, this hand looks fine. We have Damping Sphere, and Spell Queller for some of their scarier spells. I think we'll probably lead with Horizon Canopy, so hopefully the Cavern of Souls. I mean, I was just thinking about trying to save the Cavern of Souls from a wildfire. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Opponent's down to 5 cards here. Okay, we're going to play Rattlechains on the opponent's turn here, so we can give our spirits flash and get a clock going. I'm also going to try playing Damping Sphere a little bit late. The Lotus comes into play tapped, so I don't mind waiting until they already have a Lotus to play the Sphere. Ooh, Aether Vial. Well, it's a little bit awkward if I want to cast Spell Queller. So let's just attack with the Rattlechains and pass. And then maybe we can play an Aether Vial Damping Sphere next turn. Okay, opponent's done nothing with their mana yet. This could be Blood Sun. Nope. So we're just going to play Selfless Spirit. Love when my spirits have flash. Okay, so they have the Lightning Bolt for the Selfless Spirit. Let's go ahead and activate it just because. And another Rattlechains. Okay. We'll attack for 2 and pass. Holding up Spell Queller and Rattlechains this way. Okay, so opponent has 4 lands here. Looks like they're tapping out, so we got the Spell Quell. That's pretty good. And we get Path to Exile. So we have another Spell Queller here in Rattlechains. I think we'll just attack for 4 and pass. Yeah, because if opponent plays Blood Sun, we can quell it, so we don't have to worry about the Lotus Field getting too much value right out of the gate. Otherwise, we can play Rattlechains. Either way, we're going to be attacking for 6, it looks like, on our next turn. Okay, opponent has something here. Another Madcap. Let's Quell. Drogskol Captain. Okay. So that turns it up to 9. So we could 9 them. Put them to 3. That does tap out our mana. It means we can't play the Damping Sphere this turn. And it doesn't kill them, is the big issue here. So I'm leaning more towards play Damping Sphere, hold up Path to Exile, hit them for 6, hit them for whatever again. Drogskol Captain will be quite a bit better next turn if one of my creatures dies. So we're going to play Damping Sphere here, hold up, Path to Exile. I don't think we're going to get any value out of the Aether Vial for this game. It's gone too late. I want to put the Damping Sphere into play so that they can't, like, Blood Sun into Lotus thing and make ridiculous plays. And we have the Path to Exile up just in case they have another Madcap. Like if they tuck our Queller with a Teferi, for example, we can path their Empyrean and then Drogskol for the win. Okay, so here's Teferi Time Raveler. That's actually quite good. It means our path isn't going to be ready to go. So in this case, 3 mana Teferi much better than 5 mana Teferi. Oh, they're going to 4 here. That might have been a huge mistake from the opponent. Also, I don't think they're actually going to be able to cast the Madcap Experiment because of the Damping Sphere. So I think opponent might have punted. Yeah, you can cast it, but you got to pay 2 mana. And I've got 4 power on board. Okay. So it worked the way I thought. This hand looks fine. We can keep. We have turn 1 Aether Vial, turn 2 Rattlechains. Okay, opponent does not have Lurrus, so they probably are not playing Scourge. We're going to go ahead and get Hallowed Fountain untapped and play Aether Vial. Okay, Forest and Amulet. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're going to want to draw some lands here so we can apparate that Amulet of Vigor ASAP. This is a very dangerous deck to face off against. Anytime you're playing against Amulet Titan, you know you're in for a hard time. Okay, we get Mausoleum Wanderer. So we are going to be able to put some power onto the board here, and Mausoleum Wanderer gives us access to a pseudo counterspell. We can make our decisions on how to play it as the turn comes. So this unfortunately only hits instants or sorceries, so the Amulet of Vigor is safe. This is going to allow them to make ludicrous amounts of mana. They could play the Dryad here. Oh, it's a Boreal Grazer to start. Okay, that lets them put land into play. Make a bunch more mana. Can they actually get a Titan out on turn 2? Yeah, they can. Wow. Let's hope they have a Summoner's Pact and not a Titan in hand, huh? No, they just straight up have the Titan. Okay, we are not beating this. Let's see here. We bring in Mindcensor, Damping Sphere, and I think that's it. We can bring in the other path as well. What do we take out? Mausoleum Wanderer isn't going to be that hot. Spectral Sailor is kind of meh. So our 1-drops aren't very good. Rattlechains, not that great, but it does give the spirits flash. Selfless Spirit, again, not all that hot, but opponent could have something like Anger of the Gods. Apparition seems quite good. Mimic seems okay. Drogskol Captain, I mean, it's necessary. And Spell Queller is pretty good on the play. So we're going to have a hard time taking 6 cards out of the deck here. Take out a Mimic, Captain, a pair of Wanderers, a Sailor, and maybe a Rattlechains. We got a lot of 3-drops here. We should probably take out one of our 3s. Really like Spell Queller on the play, so I want to hold on to that. I don't think we can actually take out any of the 3s here. We have to take out a 2. One land hand, unfortunately. We are going to have to mulligan. This hand is fine. We'll keep. And I think we'll throw away one of our lands. Probably the basic plains here. Alright, we'll start with Flooded Strand, go. Should be able to put the Rattlechains into play and then turn 3 Damping Sphere so the opponent doesn't punk us again like that. Oh, they just went for the Amulet of Vigor right away. So we're going to have to like throw the Damping Sphere out turn 2. Hey, Marshmallovsky, how you doing? Selfless Spirit. Alright, I think we need to throw the Damping Sphere onto the board right away, just so that we don't get dead. Doing alright, doing alright. Yeah, first league. We are in match 3, game 2, and we are 1-1. And like most of my streams, it will just be a 1-league stream so that I can spend some time editing the video to put it up onto YouTube later. Okay, Path to Exile. We are going to pass here and Rattlechains on the opponent's turn. Alright, thank you. Okay, there's the Gruul Turf. Not going to be making too much mana for them. But it probably will make enough. 3 mana is enough to get the... oh, Reclamation Sage. That's going to kill the Damping Sphere here. Nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. Just play Rattlechains and start attacking. Okay, we get Cavern of Souls. That's nice. We can hold that path now. So the question is, do we play the Supreme Phantom now, or do we play the Selfless Spirit? I think we play the Selfless Spirit end of turn. I'm pretty sure that's going to get us more damage in the long run. Because we're going to be, instead of attacking for 3, then 4, we're going to attack for 2, then 6. So 8 instead of 7. That sounds like more damage. Okay. What have you got with all this mana? Opponent's hesitating here a little bit. Okay, there's the Dryad. Unfortunately, we cannot kill it before they're able to play another land. Let's get this Selfless Spirit into play. So, there is the question if we're supposed to path the Dryad now. I think that is probably wrong. If we path the Dryad now, they're going to have that extra land for next turn. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, which would allow them to get the Garenberg off the ground without any work from themselves. I think I'd probably path next turn. The problem with that is if we draw land here, or a 3-drop. Anyway, I think that we have to play it this way. Okay, Skyclave Apparition is pretty good. We can apparate either the Dryad or the Amulet. I think we probably want to get the Dryad here, and then just attack for 4. Or we could play the Supreme Phantom, path the Dryad. The thing is, the path isn't going to... Or sorry, I want to keep the path for a Titan, if possible. So yeah, I'd probably apparate the Dryad, and then hold path for Titan. Okay, here's a Summoner's Pact, so they're going to go get Titan now. Either that or another Dryad. Okay, they get another Dryad instead. Ooh. They can do some tricks here. I think they're going to be playing Titan this turn as well. Yeah, there's the mana. And here's another Summoner's Pact. Okay, so they've played 2 Summoner's Pact, though. Is it going to be at all possible for us to survive? They're going to give the Primetime haste. They'll attack us. Get Valakut. And then probably kill us. So yeah, I don't think we have a chance here. The Battlements gives the Titan haste. And they're going to have a bunch more Valakut triggers after the Titan attacks. So yeah, we take 4, go to 9, and then if they get 2 Valakut, we lose. Oh, and they also attack with the Reclamation Sage here. They have 1, 2, 3 green sources. I mean, they have as many green sources as they need, and that's way too many Valakut triggers. We're dead. Nobody knows I'm a dog, knows magic. You know your Amulet Titan deck. We're going to run away. Oh, this hand is garbage. We're going to mull. This hand is keepable. We have to get rid of 1 card. I'm leaning towards the Mausoleum Wanderer here. Cool, cool. Anytime. We're playing against Slivers. Oh, their Slivers have flying. This is the worst. uh, all right, everybody. Do we have any Slivers fans here? I think that we probably play the Spectral Sailor here or the Mausoleum Wanderer. We'll play the Mausoleum Wanderer. It starts to grow as we play Spirit, so it's good for attacking. And if we get the opportunity to trade with the Gale Rider, we will obviously take it. Oh, no kidding. Congratulations. Hogak Summer was a thing. I was playing Hogak. I think I had the most fun I've ever had with Magic when I was playing that deck. I mean, I really like winning, so playing Hogak was a good time. I know, right? And then even after they took away the bridge, it was still an insane deck. I stopped playing it for a week so that people could decide if the deck was still good on Moto, and the deck was still good, so I put it right back together again. Okay, here's Predatory Sliver, so we no longer can block the Gale Rider. We are going to have a good attack here, though. Unfortunately, our land is going to do damage to us. The Supreme Phantom is interesting. Probably actually play Supreme Phantom over Selfless Spirit here. The advantage of Selfless Spirit is that it trades with Predatory Sliver or Gale Rider Sliver, but the Supreme Phantom is able to bounce one of them and does more damage with Mausoleum Wanderer this turn. We could also put down 2 Spectral Sailors, attack for 3, and then hope that our Supreme Phantom Drogskol Captain clocks the opponent because we have more creatures on the board. So we have options. I'm thinking we could also flash in the Spectral Sailors and then ambush one of their creatures with our Mausoleum Wanderer. I think that's probably the best thing that we could do. They probably do. We'll still be able to take down one of their lords if they attack in with Predatory Sliver, though, because we will be blocking as a 3/3. So I'm wondering, it's probably better to take down the lord here rather than the flyer. Although we could double block the flyer, and that would kill that as well. I don't think that's too worthwhile. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, so we have a Lord coming down next turn. We just don't know which one yet. Supreme Phantom it is. Okay, we're going to attack with one Spectral Sailor. If they have another Lord, we can double block Supreme Phantom Spectral Sailor on Lord, and we'll be able to kill their Lord with only losing one creature of our own. We're going to have a hard time racing the opponent straight up. Our life total is much lower than theirs. There's another Lord. How many Lords can you have? Okay, they do decide to attack, so we will kill their Lord. And it looks like they're going to kill our Spectral Sailor. That's fine by us. Might have been a slight mistake there on how they prioritized damage. I think they probably should have gone for the Supreme Phantom, killed our Lord instead. Okay, we'll go ahead and play this other Supreme Phantom, I guess. If we're not drawing lands, then at least we're playing Lords. It's really the showdown of the Lords here. I'm wondering how I should attack. I think I probably just attack with one Supreme Phantom. Hold back my 3/3, which is a great blocker. Even if they get another Lord, I can just trade. Oh my god, mana traders. Brutal. Yeah, Dog just said they misclicked on the damage. On the ordering of damage there. Everyone has their pet decks, right? Black mana. What do we have coming here? Whenever a Sliver attacks, defending player loses one life. Oh, that's a neat one. Still going to be pretty risky to attack me, though. I can just eat both of your Slivers. Okay, that makes sense. Land, please. Very nice. Drogskol Captain, here we go. So attacking with Supreme Phantom is actually kind of dangerous. They could triple block a Supreme Phantom, and I would only be able to kill one of their creatures. But if they did triple block Supreme Phantom, then we could be getting in for 7. Jukawa, what's up? The gang's all here. So that's 10 damage if they don't block. If they do block, we get to kill the Predatory Sliver, and then we also get to kill one of the other Slivers. So that's pretty good, actually. We can definitely attack with 2. Do we attack with 3? So if they get Lord, they drain us for 3 immediately. We go to 7. And then we're going to take another 6. So I think we can't attack with everything here. Yeah, modern Slivers. I usually see Slivers when I'm playing Pauper. If they double block the Supreme Phantom or triple block, you better believe we were going to order the damage correctly. Okay, we just got 7 damage in. We got 2 blockers back. Collected Company is going to be a problem, but they need a green source before they could cast that. Fair. Been pretty lucky in avoiding most of the Uro piles lately. But the modern metagame is vast, as we can see here, playing against Slivers. I find that I have quite a bit of trouble with Titan. I think that we're okay against Tron, but I haven't had too much opportunity to test that theory. Okay, opponent is still going to have a hard time attacking through our creatures here. Next turn we have another Drogskol Captain or a Selfless Spirit. That's fair. I don't have any experience playing as the Uro player, so I don't really know how fun it might be, necessarily. I do like Rakdos Shadow, though. Alright, so if we play Drogskol Captain and we attack all, let's see here. They have to block 2 of our creatures. They could still keep the 2 lords. Attack for 6, put us to 4. If they had 2 lords, that would be lethal. But we would have the Drogskol Captain back to be able to block one thing. I think we probably just Drogskol Captain, turn everything sideways. But we could also play the Selfless Spirit. Or we could hold up Spell Queller. We could turn everything sideways, hold up Spell Queller, so that we could counter whatever nonsense they have coming. I think Drogskol is probably the best thing. It forces them to take bad blocks. Alright, so we took a while deciding on how we wanted to get there. I think that Drogskol plus Swing is probably our best move. Almost any 2 creatures are lethal. They could let the 2 Supreme Phantoms through and only block Drogskol Captain Spectral Sailor, but they would still be losing 2 cards in that case. Rakdos is quite different. A lot of the skill required for Rakdos is front-loaded, so you're going to be spending a lot more time on turns 1, 2, and 3, considering how you want to sequence, instead of... Oh, yeah, opponent's just lamenting the miss block there. Alright, so we're going to definitely want the extra path to Exile, and I don't think we need much more than that. Remorseful Cleric is bad, Rest in Peace is bad, Kor Firewalker is bad, Aven Mindcensor bad, Force of Negation bad, Kira bad, Damping Sphere bad. Not in this list. The only green is in the draw lands, Horizon Canopy and Waterlogged Grove. We are not playing Hierarch or Coco. This is the Azorius list. Yeah, the only reason it's green draw lands is because we don't have access to Azorius draw lands. I think we might go back to Bant for Friday. Modern Horizons 2. Oh, yeah, that's coming soon, isn't it? Ooh, Mariner. That's pretty good. Mana traders. Note, the only green, like I was saying, is just in the draw lands. Okay, so it looks like our play is pretty obvious here. Turn 1, Aether Vial. Turn 2, Rattlechains. And then Supreme Phantom ad nauseum. Okay, all their slivers have first strike. That is a bit of a problem, especially if they're going to be double blocking. But if they have first strike and not flying, that's totally fine. Spell Queller. Alright, let's put down the Aether Vial and pass. Turn 1 in Canadian Highlander. That's very impressive. How'd you manage that? Okay, this is probably a lore. Nope, this is the Mariner. Alright, so we aren't going to be hitting their creatures with much of anything. I guess we could still hit something with a path if we pay mana for it. Wow. Wowee. That is something. Okay, Skyclave Apparition. Unfortunately, Mariner does claim abilities as well, so we'll have to pay an extra mana if we want to apparate something, it seems. Let's just play land paths, and we have Rattlechains ready for a surprise block. I know, right? Who even says that? Okay, so yeah, we're really not going to be touching their slivers. But we can still block their slivers. So we could... Oh, no, we can't because that is first strike. So yeah, no blocks. We can't all get the nice opponents. Spell Queller. Okay. Spell Quellers are a no-go, but we can put 2 Supreme Phantoms onto the board and start attacking for quite a substantial amount of damage. They don't have blocks because they don't have flying, so let's just go ahead and do some damage. Alright, thanks a lot. Hope you enjoy your lunch, and see you around. Okay, we got a Lord on the opponent's side, so they're going to be able to start swinging for damage. But unless they get another Lord... Oh no. Flying. Okay. So that's not as bad as it could have been, but it's pretty bad. It means we can still block, but their blocks are going to be very good. Having first strike and then being able to gang up on my creatures, that's a problem. And I'm going to need 3 mana in order to start taking things away with Skyclave Apparition. So if we get land off the top, we can take away first strike. And that would be quite the blowout, actually. Land, please. Nope. No luck. Okay. So we have Supreme Phantom and Spell Queller here. But we cannot attack because they have flying and first strike on the other side. They could decimate our board. Opponent only has 1 card left in hand, though. No attacks, makes sense. I think we probably hold the Spell Queller. Alright, I'm going to say always no and always yield. Land, please. Another Skyclave. Alright, we'll just play Aether Vial and pass. Mariner and Diffusion Sliver are really cramping our style here. But we might be able to hit something with a Spell Queller. It doesn't counter spells, it exiles spells, so it'll be able to hit a Sliver even through the Cavern of Souls here. Opponent can't attack. We have good blocks, they have good blocks. Another Skyclave Apparition. Deck, I need lands. Oh, they're able to start making tokens. Okay. That is going to bury us eventually, but they're still going to have a hard time attacking unless they're attacking for lethal. And I could just get rid of the one that gives them flying and just attack for lethal, I think. That's 9. Not quite. We're 1 off of lethal here. Maybe we want to throw a Spell Queller on the board so that if we can draw land, get rid of this Cloud Shredder, then we can just win the game. Alright, deck. Give me a land. Untapped, if you please. Alright, deck. What a troll. We'll just pass back. So they're just going to go ahead and make another 1/1. We're not too worried about that. Much more worried about them getting another of these counter effects or another flying effect. Any of those are going to be quite a problem. And we're looking to draw land before they get another flying or another counter effect. Okay, so it looks like they have another Lord here. Yep, that's no problem. Pretty sure we don't die to an attack, so our blocks are still going to be good. Okay, it looks like they are starting to attack here. If they're attacking, they really have to attack with everything. Yeah, thinking better of that now. Our blocks are way too good. Alright, let's take our turn and hope we draw land. We'll say yes to both of these. And we had Selfless Spirit off the top. Okay. Selfless Spirit's actually quite good, now that I think about it. It's going to allow us to make favorable blocks, or rather make their blocks unfavorable. The question is, do we die on the crackback? We probably do. We attack all... They only have to block Rattlechains and Spell Queller. They could block with the 2 token slivers here, and then just kill us on the crackback. So, unfortunately, we just have to pass until we get a land. The Selfless Spirit is going to be quite nice, though, if opponent gets another Lord. So we're at turn, going into turn 9. I think we've been looking for a land for 7 turns now. Oh, damn, they have the Gale Rider. So that's the secondary flying creature. That means that 1 land is no longer going to be good enough to just swing in. But we have 3 apparitions here. So we could, over 2 turns, get rid of the flying. But again, we have to draw a land in order for that to matter. Okay, so this one is for this Aether Vial, yes. No. We do finally find the land. Okay, we're going to pass here, and then we'll apparate 1 flyer end of turn, and then the other flyer on our turn. So the Unsettled Mariner and the Disfusion Sliver, they don't run like Leonin Arbiters, right? I don't have to like click the card and then pay the mana. I can just pay the mana when my ability is on the stack, right? Well, I don't have priority, so I guess clicking on the creatures isn't going to do anything. Alright, thanks, Matt. This could be trouble if they have the... Oh, that's trouble too. Sacrifice is permanent, gain 3 life. That means we're not going to be able to win in a swing. But it also means that they're going to be losing creatures at quite a rate. Oh, we should have spell quelled that. I'm such an idiot. Burakima, what's going on? Thanks for coming by. We're just playing a tribal showdown. So I think I have to get rid of the Darkheart Sliver. But yeah, if I had just spell quelled that, we would have been fine. We would have won here. So yeah, that was me being, I don't know, punting, I guess. That is frustrating. We had the Spell Queller. We should have been able to get there. Just quell that, apparate this, and then apparate this. We would have been fine. We are also taking quite a bit of damage from the draw lands here. This is game 2. We won game 1. Let's see here. Always no. Always no. Always no. Always yield. So that should clean that up a little bit. Make that faster. And we got a Rattlechains. Okay. So because we made that punt there, we're going to have to wait an extra turn, which unfortunately gives our opponent the extra turn to draw the Sliver where whenever they attack, the opponent loses a life. Or to just Alpha Strike here and potentially kill us. I think we probably survive an Alpha Strike here, but it would be risky. Okay, so we should have it now. Were we supposed to put Spell Queller in there? I think we have lethal damage, right? With our flyers. 10, 19. Oh, yeah, we do. Oops, cancel that. Want to use the Aether Vial for this. And we have Spell Queller on deck as well. Get rid of flying. And we can hold up white mana with Horizon Canopy, not that that really means anything. We cannot path because of Mariner and Diffusion Sliver. But this should win us the game. Whatever they have in hand, we have Spell Queller. GG. Oh, we were still in chat there. Let's just make sure that we pay the mana. Don't punt this one away. Okay, that should be game. No more flyers. Only my creatures fly. Phew. This hand looks good. We'll keep. Playing against Temple Garden Arbor Elf, so this is probably Heliod combo. That's going to be pretty difficult for us. I think we play Flooded Strand Aether Vial here. And then next turn we have Mausoleum Wanderer Rattlechains. So we can do damage quite quickly here, but the opponent could just have the combo and infinite life ready to go next turn. And currently there's nothing we can do to stop that. So I think we just play Cavern of Souls pass. And if they company, then we can Wanderer that. But if they play... well, it looks like they don't have it. They're just passing back. This could still be Collected Company. And they might be playing around Mausoleum Wanderer right now. But I don't think we can wait. So yeah, that's what they were doing. They were playing around Mausoleum Wanderer. We should have just put the Mausoleum Wanderer down immediately, so we wouldn't have to play around like we did. So opponent gets the Collected Company off. And there's the Spike Feeder, so we can just concede. Alright, kind of missequenced that a little bit. Should have put the Mausoleum Wanderer into play on my turn, so that I wouldn't have to pass the turn without putting it into play in order to play around Collected Company. I'm thinking Force of Negation isn't going to be very good here. I think it really only hits the Collected Company itself. So we're just going to bring in an extra path. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. We could bring in Damping Sphere to try and cut down on their lands a little bit. It would render their auras fairly useless. But I don't think that there's actually anything worth taking out for it. We're going to want our creatures to clock the opponent. So we're just going to take out, I think, a Glasspool Mimic for the path to Exile and call it a sideboard. Okay, so we have a 3-land hand here. We have Spell Queller. We can get a Mausoleum Wanderer out turn 2. I think we keep this. I think we go Glasspool, and then depending if we draw a land, we probably play second Glasspool. We're going to want that Spell Queller up for turn 3. Okay, they do have the Arbor Elf, so they can accelerate out a Heliod before we can counter it. Love those Glasspools, though. Amazing Magic card, those Glasspools. Oh, Utopia Sprawl, so that's 4 mana this turn. We can counter a Collected Company, but if this is Walking Ballista... No, this is Heliod, okay. And Aether Vial. Aether Vial's late for the party. Name Spirit. And we'll just attack for 1 and pass. Holding up Spell Queller and Rattlechains. So if they have a Walking Ballista here for 4, we can counter it. Let's see here. Do we want to counter that? The Conclave Mentor? Probably not, right? Alright, we'll play the Rattlechains here. We can still counter Collected Company if they have it. Through the Mausoleum Wanderer. Okay, so they're going to Path to Exile the Rattlechains. Okay. That gives us the extra mana to put the Aether Vial into play. Main deck Path. That is the reason to run Azorius Spirits over Bant. Yep, this is game 2. We got crushed game 1 by a mistimed Mausoleum Wanderer, allowing the opponent to Collected Company. Opponent only has 2 cards in hand here, but they do clock us currently. If they just started attacking, we would be in trouble. Okay, there's the attack. No blocks. Not interested in taking down Spell Queller for even a moment. Okay, they give it lifelink, which means that there's no way that we can win this race. So we're going to need to start drawing in towards apparitions. Okay, we got a Supreme Phantom off the top. So we can play Supreme Phantom, attack for 3 and hold up Spell Queller. I'm wondering, we might want to keep the Mausoleum Wanderer back to block the Conclave Mentor, or we could double block Arbor Elf. Maybe we're not supposed to be attacking now. Like I said, we cannot beat Heliod's lifelink with them attacking like that. Okay, so I think we probably double block here, lose Supreme Phantom. Their Conclave Mentor is going to become a 4/4 in that scenario. So yeah, they kill our Lord. And they get a 4/4. This opponent knows how to order damage. So the Selfless Spirit means we're going to be able to prevent them from gaining life if we only block the Conclave Mentor with Selfless Spirit and then sacrifice it. Although I think we would probably just double block, because then we would have 4. So yeah, that's fine. I know, right? Another Aether Vial. Come on, deck, stop being a troll. I guess we play the Vial, we have Selfless Spirit with this Vial, and then we still have Spell Queller up. And so we just pass here. Okay, so looks like we trade with the Conclave Mentor. That would be fine with me. Okay, we each have 2 cards in hand at this point, but I have a Spell Queller. Okay, there's a path. Opponent only has 1 card left in hand. I think I have to take this moment here and immediately quell, and that will allow me to keep one of my creatures. No, that it won't. But I do think that I have to quell this. Okay, if they have a secondary path, I am boned. Okay, it's just the lifelink thing, that's fine. No collected company, no path. Nice. Okay, so they gain a bunch of life. They put a token on Heliod, but that's no problem. They only have 1 card left in hand, and we have Spell Queller in hand. So we're not doing terribly here. But we have a long way to go to take that life total down to where we need it. Say yes to both these Aether Vials. And we get Moorland Haunt. Moorland Haunt is actually pretty good here. We can start making 1/1s. We have the Aether Vial to put the Spell Queller in, so we're not taking that down if we activate the Moorland Haunt. And once we get a Lord, those 1/1 spirits are going to be chunking in for a lot of damage. Okay, so they just have the 1 card in hand. They're not doing anything. That's pretty lucky. Yep. We beat Slivers. We made 1 small mistake, but we were able to recover. Okay, so let's see here. This one is a yes. Wowee. You were here for that? Oh no. Someone add that to the quotes, please. Alright, so we're going to say always no, and we'll say always yield next turn so we can catch that Aether Vial. Ooh, a path off the top. Not bad, not bad. Let's attack for 3, pass the turn. What? It's an emote on Better Twitch TV? Wild. Okay, so here's a Ranger Captain. That's going to let them go get Walking Ballista. I think we go ahead and quell this, because we would have to quell the Walking Ballista, and they could cast Walking Ballista for X is 3, so that we wouldn't be able to quell it. Cancel that, use the Aether Vial. Okay, let's make another spirit. Always no, always yield. Okay, we get Selfless Spirit. I guess we just attack here. Would have liked a Lord, so we could be doing some good damage here. Opponent is still just one card away from ending this. Okay, Giver of Ruins is a pretty good one. Means that they're going to have path protection from if they put a Spike Feeder down. Come on, Lord off the top, please. Mausoleum Wanderer is not a Lord. Alright, we're just going to have to attack. This is a 2-turn clock, so they do need to find the card right now. We might as well put the Mausoleum Wanderer into play. And hope that we aren't dead. The Giver of Ruins means that we aren't going to be able to respond with Path if they have the Spike Feeder. Either one of their kill conditions here is going to be a win. Conclave Mentor, not so much. We have Flying, so we can get over their dudes. Okay, they're going to attack with Giver of Ruins. And then, let's see here, so we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We should just have the game here, right? We shouldn't have to path that. They gain 1 life, who cares? We have more than enough damage to kill them. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They all fly. Oh, they could be looking maybe to kill their Conclave Mentor in some way so that they could gain 4 life. I don't think that's going to work out. Skyclave. Nice. We can just start with an attack. Okay. So we got lucky there. Opponent wasn't able to draw into their game-winning cards. I know, right? Do I attack with all of my evasive creatures, or do I let my opponent draw the winning card off the top of their deck? Tough choice. This hand is kind of garbage. This hand's kind of garbage too. I'm not liking my hands. I'm going to mull this one as well. Unfortunately, I have to keep this one, even though it doesn't have a Path or a Queller, but it has a Mausoleum Wanderer, so we could maybe counter a Collected Company. We have to get rid of 2 of these cards. So we're going to get rid of 2 lands. The Waterlogged Grove and probably just the Waterlogged Grove and the basic island. Alright, so they start with the Giver of Ruins, so we're going to have a hard time interacting with anything they have. But that also means that they're not accelerating into Heliod turn 2. They're going to have to play a 2-mana card on turn 2. Oh, they're attacking with the Giver. Yep. I mean, they can't block with it, so they might as well. And they have no play. Let's see here. Cavern of Souls. Name Spirit. And I think we just attack with the Mausoleum Wanderer for 1. We could get the extra damage in here. Elamdari's Call and End Step. Do they play Elamdari's Call along with Collected Company? I mean, that would definitely be a pretty solid play, but we would be able to Wanderer that. I think we play the Rattlechains right now to get the extra point of damage in. Oh, that makes sense. Also possible. Did they mulligan as well? They mulligan to 6. So if they have the call, they should cast it in response to my attack during the blocker step so that they could prevent the 2 damage. But it looks like they didn't have it. That probably means they've got some decent 3 drops though. Okay, here's the Ranger Captain. Nothing we can do about that. That's going to allow them to go get Walking Ballista. Walking Ballista will also be a pretty decent answer to the Drogskol Captain. So we probably want to play the Supreme Phantom instead this turn, so that our Drogskol Captain doesn't get destroyed. Oh, we got the Rattlechains. Okay. Yeah, I think we just Supreme Phantom, attack for 5, pass. And we'll leave up Hallowed Fountain so we can bluff Path. Okay, that's a nice chunk. Hey there, from the crypt. Ooh, Skyclave Apparition from the opponent. That's going to be able to take one of our cards. Which means I don't think we're going to have lethal on this turn coming up. We're going to have another 6 from the Drogskol Captain, putting them to 1, which means they won't be able to use the Horizon Canopy. We might actually be able to steal this game. Waterlogged Grove. Okay. That doesn't change anything for us. We could spend a life in order to hold up a fake path. So we could go to 12. Opponent has 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 damage. I think we should be fine. Paying a single life. This is also going to be the second turn in a row that we've held up white mana. So our opponent might be more inclined to play around Path. We've been representing it quite a bit. And there we go. We managed to steal the match and get ourselves a 3-2 finish.